Speaking of Philippine basketball, and speaking of dicks, really, the resident dick in Philippine basketball is spoken again, man. The Dean Quinito Henson
The Dean.
is on. He's just on a revenge tour, man.
Yeah,
Talking
yeah,
about he's really talking about foreign student athletes in the league.
right.
He's on a vendetta, man. He's going crazy with this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pull up the article real quick. I wanna he's essentially given us 3 points. So the first point that he was making was that the Philippines should ban foreign student athletes, at least the UAAP, because it only has 8 teams,
Right.
and the NCAA doesn't care if foreigners play in their leagues because it's a big league, right?
Right.
There's a lot. So he's essentially talking about roster spaces and essentially wants these roster spots to go to locals.
Right.
What do you think about that point?
It's just I know he's advocating for for locals. He's advocating for the he's advocating for locals to shine. But again, it kind of defeats the purpose of why we want to have that little spice with with imports on board. But not just that, but it also helps the competition. Because given the state, and we talked about this already in this podcast, given the state of how backed up the coaching knowledge is in the Philippines, if we don't have that, that that second tier of competition, with imports on board, and not exposing our local players to, to a system or to an athletic style of play that's not common in the PBA, then what's gonna happen is we're just gonna be there. We're just gonna be stagnant. There's really no room for improvement, and we've touched upon this. With advocating for Coach Tab to stay, which he did. Great decision, by the way. And it's just about upping the competition a little bit. So we have that experience and that and kind of that exposure. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, that kind of transitions into a second point, really. So the
Right.
second point that he mentioned was foreign student athletes. Quinito Henson has claimed that foreign student athletes also take away opportunities for coaches and players to improve. This is probably the biggest bullshit that he's talked
Yeah.
about so far.
Yeah. No,
Right?
FSAs are
They're not.
you know
No, go ahead. What were you
yeah,
saying?
FSAs are there not to and it's not to the presence of FSAs does not hamper our room for improvement. Rather, it reinforces the room for improvement. You Example would be you cannot stop you cannot plan to stop a Shaquille O'Neal if you only see him in film. You
Mm,
can only really gauge the power and the skill of a Shaquille O'Neal once you're already there on the court with him.
that's right. You know,
So yeah, they gotta be on the court at the same time. That's the only way we're gonna learn.
right, and it's messed up because you bring practice players in to simulate these guys, but you're afraid to play against them for real.
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense to me. I
doesn't
mean,
make sense. No,
I,
no.
I, it's pretty obvious what he's going for here.
Right,
He's trying to preserve the status quo.
right,
He's trying to say that these jobs are for locals only. These jobs are for Filipinos only. I mean, I don't even want to talk about the nasty part of it. But what I'm saying
yeah,
is, this is so wrong on different levels,
It
right?
is.
Because
Yeah.
they don't take away opportunities for them to improve. As you said, it makes them improve. It forces them to improve.
Yeah.
Because look, I'll give a perfect example to this. And we mentioned this before. If it's on the coach if you're gonna use that guy in a certain way,
Yeah.
right? We were just watching Colin Sokoe highlights right now.
Yeah.
Before we started recording.
UST.
He's essentially the
Yeah.
foreign student athlete from UST. Really
Yeah.
good. He's a beast. Really, he's the footwork is solid. I wouldn't say it's great, but he can post up. He
Yeah.
has that right shoulder hook that he's relying on. He posts up on the left block.
Mhm.
Tries to back his defender down. He has that
Mhm.
two-step right hook on him.
And his
Um,
size.
they,
His size too.
he's just bigger than everybody,
Yeah.
really. So
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone in the league that's capable of stopping him one on one. Really, it's gonna be a struggle because not only is he long, he's also wide.
Yeah.
He's pretty strong. He actually looks like Pusha T, man. I don't know if you look at him closely. He looks like I'm gonna call him Pusha T from now on.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way he's a physical player and UST is using him very well. They're running him in a lot of high screener roles. They're running him a lot of post up isolations.
Right.
Really exploiting the strength of the player. It's just
Yeah.
fine. But
Yeah.
that's on the coach. That's on the coach if you want to use that guy that way.
Yeah.
I'll give you a contrast. Divine Hadili isn't being used that way by Tab Baldwin.
Mhm.
Because that's not how Tab Baldwin coaches.
Yeah.
He wants the ball moving. He wants the ball, the players moving.
Right.
So Adili is being used, well, primarily as if there's
Rebounder,
someone huge
yeah.
on the court to stop him, right, defensively. But offensively, he's more of an off-ball guy. They're
Yeah.
using him in a lot of screens.
Mhm.
He's cutting, and it's his teammates are fighting him.
Yeah.
So that's how you manage your team is on the coach. How you develop your players is on the coach. Having these foreign student athletes in there forces everyone to adapt.
Yeah.
But if those people don't want to, then what you get is what you see now.
Yeah.
They're being used as imports,
Mhm.
right? So Quinito shouldn't be blaming the players here. He should blame the coaches.
Yeah.
Because why are your
100%.
coaches using this guy like this? I know
Yeah.
they're good,
Yeah.
right? But if they really wanted to feature their local players, they would have a system to do so.
Exactly.
But just like the PBA, stuck in the past, they just want to give it to the best guy on the floor and let him create.
Yeah.
That's on the coach. It's not on the player itself. You're blaming the player for something the coach is doing.
Exactly. It's
That's
on the coach 100%, and also it's just it he's the way I see it is that you know and I'm looking at his columns, and he was there's one column that he wrote this that the PBA is still the number one sports brand like in the Philippines. Granted that it is, but it's no longer what it used to be.
That's a low bar, though, right?
Yeah.
Sure, it's the number one league in the Philippines, but it's a
That is
low
like-
bar.
that's
You're
like
essentially
really
saying
low, bro.
you're essentially saying that, essentially confirming that there's no competition for the PBA. It's a monopoly, really. You have the MPBL, sure, which is
Yeah.
the Manny Pacquiao's basketball league, but
Right.
it's and to his credit, right, the best players in the Philippines still flock. Well, most of them still flock
Most
to
of
the
them.
PBA
Right.
because that's the only game in town.
Yeah.
When we talk about the NBA and how that league attracted talent, it was I wouldn't say it was competing with the PBA at its peak,
Mm-hmm.
but you can see the quality of the players there improve, and most of those players eventually came to the PBA as well,
Right. Once the league folded,
So-
they had to go to the PBA. Yeah.
right? Which is
I do remember Quinito talking shit about the NBA back then.
Well, at this point, I think his credibility as a journalist is really, no, it's not there. He's a very biased journalist. You can see it. You can see what his biases are now. He's obviously pro PBA,
Right.
and
Definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's sad to see someone who's established in this industry to be this way. I believe it's
Mm-hmm.
just sad. Like this third point, really, he's saying that, and this is one more. I kind of agree with him on this one. The UA, he said that Quinito has said that the UAAP has to put a stop to turning players into pros with some earning allowances bigger than the average PBA player. This I can agree with him on, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And but the question that I have here is that are you just talking about the foreign student athletes?
Yeah.
Is that what
Exactly.
you're talking about here?
Yeah.
Because everybody knows it's an open secret.
Yeah.
It's an open secret that these players who are transferring teams and the UAAP has seen a lot more transfers in recent years.
Right.
Do you think that happens because they just want to go to that school and they get a scholarship? You think that's the only thing that's going on here? In this age of boosters,
Right.
let's be real, right?
Yeah. Let's be real. No.
If
I
you're
mean,
talking about these allowances, you gotta regulate the whole league, bro. Because I don't want to put certain players on blast. You know, you gotta get your money, right? But
yeah. Yeah. Of course.
this is not just a foreign student athlete thing. Okay,
No, it's
this
not.
this
Yeah.
this whole thing is not isolated to foreigners. Everyone is getting something.
Mm.
And if we're saying earning allowance is bigger than the average PBA player, you got to talk about the PBA as well
Yeah.
because that's baked into their contracts.
Right. Right.
You
Yeah.
guys don't have a salary cap,
Right.
at least something you follow.
Yeah.
So
Well,
if we're doing this, and
yeah.
look, I'll let you speak. I'm for this.
Yeah.
Okay? I want the PBA to have a structured salary cap. They
Mhm.
follow it strictly. I want the UAAP to have. Let's just have a similar NIL system, maybe,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So these
Yeah.
players can
Yeah.
get paid officially, rather
Officially.
than
Yeah. Yeah.
what's happening
Under
right
the
now.
table. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just do that, right?
Yeah.
Let's have these endorsements going on for these kids, and I'm all
Mhm.
for that. I think they should get paid too, with the way
Right.
the how the UAAP is making money. They should
Mhm.
get paid 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were saying
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, yeah, because now I remember when the whole the whole controversy about remember the Michigan Wolverines, Chris Webber, they had their Final Four appearances, all their banners like removed from their stadium because of this. Apparently what happened was Chris Webber, Mo Taylor, Tractor Trailer, those guys who played for Michigan, they were being paid by a booster. They were getting they're getting essential stuff, clothes, shoes, lunch money from a booster. And given the fact that in here in the U.S. especially, college athletes are not paid for anything. Like the NCAA has to give them a little bit of leeway to have some sort of allowance or some sort of stipend from people. And like I said, the regulation should be in how much. Of course, if it comes to like the 5 6 figure amount, then that's already that's kind of questionable. But if it's like if it's as little as giving a kid a pair of shoes, giving a kid like gas money, lunch money, you know that should be allowed. That should be allowed. It can't. These kids are they're not all of them come from middle class families. Some of them come from projects, so you can cut them some slack in a way.
Yeah, I mean, look, they should get paid. Bottom line,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
I hate this argument that that college is turning into pros. I hate that argument
No,
because
it's not that. Yeah.
these kids are risking their futures to play. If they suffer an ACL
That's
injury, or if they suffer something worse,
it. Mm-hmm.
they're essentially done. They can't play anymore professionally,
Yeah.
right? Give these players some money. They
Yeah.
especially in a highly commercialized league. like the college UAP that we have.
Mhm. Right.
These kids should be paid. Whatever. I mean, institute a regulation where you can pay these guys
Right.
somehow, and then leave it as it is, and just accept the fact that there are programs in each league that will ooze loyalty, and there are some programs that won't. It's just what it is, right?
Well, it's, yeah.
This is not supposed to be a. I understand the old school thinking that you're playing for the school. There's pride. Yeah, you can have that as well as be paid for it.
Right. Oh yeah.
It's not just about these athletes are risking their bodies. I think they should
Right.
be compensated, and I definitely agree with what Quinito is saying here, but I think he's just referring to foreign student athletes, which is
Right.
again hypocritical.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look, his school has a history of this too.
I mean,
I don't
you
want to.
gotta
I don't want to go that route, but yeah.
you gotta cut FSA some slack because they're FSAs. They're coming. They're not from the Philippines. You gotta house them. You gotta you gotta house them. You gotta take care of them basically. So he's saying that because it's a veiled. I feel like it's a veiled shot against against the FSAs.
Yeah, I think he's just really old school, and it just doesn't want this change to happen. Look, the FSAs are playing in the high school ranks now as well. I don't know if you
Right.
noticed that.
hmm
That's fine, right? Get
Yeah.
these kids exposed to a higher level of athleticism and strength
Right.
early as possible. Because we Filipinos don't grow very well, man.
No.
It's just what it is, right?
Yeah.
If you're a pure Filipino, there's just a limit. It is what it
Yeah.
is. So, if you're banning foreign student athletes, how come you're not banning a half Filipino, half whatever, who's way bigger than everybody? Why
Right.
why not go there as well? Why are you targeting someone who's just
Yeah.
pure foreigner? That's just a stupid argument to make, really.
Yeah.
We want to improve the basketball program in the Philippines, and the only way you're gonna do that is you gotta have the players, right? You gotta get them against competition, and number two, you gotta have good coaching
Right.
and player development. Really, I've
Yeah.
never seen good player development in the
We have
Philippines
not.
so far,
We
apart
have
from
not.
certain instances,
No.
right? I mean, I guess
have
one of the most notable that I've seen, and to the credit of the school and the player, they really really mesh together. I'm talking about former King Eagle. I think he's a legend in the school. He should be. Third D Ravenna. Talking about Third D Ravenna here.
30.
The way
Yep.
he has developed into the player that he is now. Credit to both the player and the school for that. Because the 30 turned into Kiefer's brother. Kiefer's younger brother into Third D, right? He's not even known
Right.
by his last name. He's known by he's
Yeah.
30, right? And that's how
30,
you
yeah.
know that he's made his own name.
Right.
All credit to him, because look at the career he's had so far. He was amazing in college. He was the
Right.
first. He's a pioneer, man. He's a pioneer of
Yeah.
this whole Filipinos playing abroad thing. He's he's the first one who went to Japan in the Japan B League to play there. He's the one that started that. Everyone else followed him after that. And now he's the first player to play in the Middle East. And as of this recording, he's the first Filipino player to be in a EuroLeague jersey. Because the team that he plays for in Dubai
Right.
has officially joined the EuroLeague.
Wow.
That's history right there. That's
amazing.
That's
Yeah.
testament to how far he's gone as a player and how he
Right.
has developed. Right? And
Mhm.
look, if you look at his stats, there is obviously he's playing with NBA level guys there. He's playing.
Yeah.
I think he's Davis Bertans is on his team.
Right. David Bertans, yeah.
You know, he's ex NBA player, right,
Right.
for the Spurs, and I believe uh, the Wizards as well. He played for the Wizards.
Right.
Right. He's there, but he's not really playing.
Mm-hmm.
But look, he's playing against these guys. And the funny thing is, Quinito Henson actually is begging him to go to the PBA. Quinito Henson has a statement saying that he's hoping that 30 plays for the PBA because in the PBA he can be a star. That's what he's saying.
He will be a star in the PBA.
What's your reaction to that quote from Quinito, from our favorite?
He's
Quinito.
definitely going to be a star in the PBA, but he's not going to get the money he's making in Dubai.
Right?
It's
So
a
look, he's got so he's got Dwayne Bacon in there, an ex-NBA player. Davis Bertans, obviously an ex-NBA player.
Right.
Yeah. So he's playing with ex-NBA players and EuroLeague players.
Right.
These aren't these aren't scrubs, man. These are international players who are there for a reason. These are real pros. He's playing in practice against. Even though he can't get into a game most of the time. Right? He's developing, and as he said, he's getting paid.
Yep.
I don't have the details of the contract, but if you're playing for a Middle Eastern team,
oh gosh,
bro, you're probably getting paid.
You're getting paid. You're getting paid.
And Quinito just begging him to join the PBA, and essentially giving the "do you want to be a big fish in a small pond?"
Right.
kind of argument.
Right.
I can smell the desperation there, to be honest, from Quinito Henson. Right? Why? Leave 30 alone.
Yeah.
Okay, 30's doing his thing. He's there's a reason why he's doing that. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he doesn't want to join the PBA. Because if he wanted to join the PBA, he would already be in the PBA.
Yes.
If Kiefer Rivera wanted to play in the PBA, he'd be in the PBA. Right? All these guys playing abroad, if they wanted to be in the PBA, they would be in the PBA.
They would already be in the PBA.
There's a reason why these guys are not playing in the PBA.
Yes.
And that's the questions that you should be asking as a journalist.
Right.
But instead, he's shilling for this league that is stuck in the 90s and doesn't want to seem to adapt.
Yeah.
And again, we love the PBA and we want them to be good again.
Right.
Someone has to make the PBA great again.